Hey, this message is for Brent Barrett. Don't be no pussy. Don't go back on your word. You want to sit up here and because your bosses possibly getting on your neck, they possibly upset at you because you embarrassed Kamala Harris. At the end of the day, all she had to do was answer questions. People are saying that Brent Barrett was on her neck, that Brent Barrett put a lot of pressure on her. No, he didn't. The only thing he did was ask her questions that he was ducking and dodging the whole goddamn time. If she would have answered the questions, the man wouldn't have to keep reiterating, and he did not overtalk her. What he did was when she tried to deflect, he brought her right back and said, hey, eat this. That's all he did. But at the end of the day, Brent, let me tell you something. I'm about to expose the truth. You said they played the wrong clip, and that's fine. What I'm about to expose is what they tried to say that what Trump did, she actually done right now. Make sure y'all watch this entire video. Make sure you share it because Kamala Harris has actually done what she accused Donald Trump of doing. The gaslighting is unbelievable, y'all. Listen to this.
Make a mistake, and I want to say that mistake. When I called for a soundbite, I was expecting a piece of the enemy from within, from Maria Bartiromo's interview, to be tied to the piece from your town hall, Harris, where you asked the former president about the enemy from within. It just had the piece about the town hall, and just take a listen to what I meant to roll.
I think the bigger problem is the enemy from within, not even the people that have come in and destroying our country. We have some sick people, radical left lunatics, and I think they're and it should be very easily handled by, if necessary, by National Guard, or if really necessary, by the military. They were saying I was like threatening. I'm not threatening anybody. They're the ones doing the threatening. They do phony investigations. I've been investigated more than Alphonse Capone. He was the greatest gangster. No, it's true. No, but think of it. It's called weaponization of government. It's a terrible thing.
Harold, I did make a
Brent Barrett, sir, I'm trying to figure out why you're apologizing. They played the wrong clip, but you know in your heart, you heard what Donald Trump said. He was talking about the people that has been weaponizing the system against him. And at the end of the day, he didn't put it into legislation. He's not trying to get put in legislation. It was a thought because of everything that has been done to him. He said they should be, okay, that these evil people that's been coming up against him, been weaponizing the system against him, that they should do it. But let's see what Kamala Harris in the Biden administration just done recently. Listen to this.
Talking about the American people.
Notice that the pitch of her voice is changing, is higher. The enemy within. That is a bit of nervousness. She is just losing it. She's trying to, well, let's say, regain composure, and this is when she makes one of the worst mistakes in this interview.
Suggesting he would turn the American military on the American people.
I want to say something about this, and this was thanks to Military Arms on X. This is a perfect example of the lies Harris tells. This is a flat-out lie, and I'm going to show you this is a very strong fact check and a very dangerous fact check. And if you're a citizen of the United States, you better pay attention to this part of this analysis. She is accusing Trump of wanting to turn the U.S. military against the American people. He has made no such effort. However, this week, Harris' administration did just that. Her Department of Defense authorized the military to shoot Americans, and we need to look at this. I'm going to read this because this is critical. It looks boring, but it's really important, this, for whatever is going to happen on November 5th and the days after the election. Defense intelligence, this is the relevant provisions updated on the Department of Defense Directive 5240.01. Defense intelligence components may provide personnel to assist a federal department or agency, including a federal law enforcement agency or a state or local law enforcement agency when lives are in danger in response to a request for such assistance in accordance with the following approval authorities. But the delicate part is this: assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality. or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. This is serious. This is serious, my friends. It also includes, and this is why I am so worried about this, it also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. The writing is on the wall. I will not say anything else about this topic, but we're talking about lethality, likely to result in lethal force and confrontations between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups. You tell me that it cannot get more clear than that. And Kamala Harris is accusing Donald Trump of something that just happened under her administration. God knows why, what for. I really don't want to get into that topic, but it's something that has to be addressed. It has nothing to do with body language, but I needed to make that fact check so you are aware of what could be coming.
I'll say what he won't say. There's a possibility, okay, allegedly, that if they steal this election, because we already know she's not going to win, she's not winning in the swing states, in the electoral college, 9 times out of 10, Donald Trump is going to win that. The popular vote, I believe that Donald Trump might win that because, you know, they done let over so many people over here and they letting people vote without ID, et cetera, et cetera. So you already know that the numbers are going to be played with. But at the end of the day, the fact is that the Harris administration has weaponized the military against the people just in case they steal this election and the people want to fight for true democracy, which she speaks for, but actually her actions are contradict everything she stands for. So that's what happened, and her book goes a little bit more in depth.
Disturbances which may also require presidential authorization. B. DOD response to chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and high-yield explosive incidents. C, and this is the big one, assistance in responding with assets with potential for lethality, or any situation in which it is reasonably foreseeable that providing the requested assistance may involve the use of force that is likely to result in lethal force, including death or serious bodily injury. It also includes all support to civilian law enforcement officials in situations where a confrontation between civilian law enforcement and civilian individuals or groups is reasonably anticipated. Such use of force must be in accordance with DOD, that's Department of Defense Directive 5210.56, potentially as further restricted based on the specifics of the requested support. D, provision or use of DOD unmanned systems, drones, in the United States, except as delegated by the Secretary of Defense pursuant to the October 31, 23 Secretary of Defense memorandum. Guys, anywhere that law enforcement could potentially be anticipated to have a confrontation with civilians or civilian groups, i.e. militia, you know, that group that's required by the United States Constitution, they're authorized to, upon request and approval by the Secretary of Defense, and perhaps in some situations the President, they're approved to shoot you, to kill you. That's how far we have fallen.